Shabbat Shalom. Uh, it is the Sabbath morning, and as you can see, I've joined my uh, friends again for this Shabbat. Um, but nevertheless, I'm still going to bring you the reading for today. Um, yes, it's Hasanya, by the way. And as always, we start with a word of prayer, and we get right into it. Heavenly Father, thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for placing the desire in my heart to get to know your word better, to delve more deeply into it. Father, please grace me with understanding, wisdom, and knowledge in a righteous way, in a way which honors you. Uh, Father, bring the words of the Bible together so that I understand. Bless this channel, Father. Uh, and Father, forgive me of my sins. Bless anyone who chooses to come here, Father. Place on their hearts also the desire to get to know you better. Again, Father, just thank you. Thank you for all the things that you're doing. I give you all the honor, all the glory, all the praise. These are all things I ask in your name and your son's name. So be it, may it be so. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with chapter 19. Um, and it says, and I'm sorry, we're in again the HalleluYah scriptures, and we're in Shema or Exodus chapter 19. Um, so, in the third month after the children of Israel had come out of the land of Mitzrayim, on this day they came to the wilderness of Sinai, for they departed from Rephaim and had come to the had come to the wilderness of Sinai and camped in the wilderness. So Yashua camped there before the mountain. And Moshe went up to Yah, and Yah called to him from the mountain, saying, "This is what you are to say to the house of Yaakov, and declare to the children of Yasharel. You have seen what I did to the Mizrahites, and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. And now, if you diligently obey my voice, and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession above all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a reign of Kohanim and a Kodash nation. Those are the words which you are to speak to the children of Yasharel." And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and put before them all these words which Yah commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, "All that Yah has spoken we shall do." So Moshe brought back the words of the people to Yah. And Yah said to Moshe, "See, I am coming to you in the thick cloud, so that the people hear when I speak with you and believe you forever." And Moshe reported the words of the people to Yah. And Yah said to Moshe, "Go to the people and kadosh them today and tomorrow, and they shall wash their garments, and shall be prepared by the third day. For on the third day Yah shall come down upon Mount Sinai before the eyes of all the people. And you shall make a border for the people all around, saying, Take heed to yourselves that you do not go up to the mountain or touch the border of it. Whoever touches the mountain shall certainly be put to death. Not a hand is to touch it, but he shall certainly be stoned or shot with an arrow. Whether man or beast, he shall not live. When the trumpet sounds long, let them go up to the mountain." And Moshe came down from the mountain to the people and kadoshed the people, and they washed their garments. And he said to the people, "Be prepared by the third day. Do not come near a wife." And it came to be on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud on the mountain, and the sound of the ram's horn was very loud, and all the people who were in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought the people out of the camp to meet with with Yah, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. And Mount Sinai was in smoke, all of it, because Yah descended upon it in fire, and its smoke went up like the smoke of a furnace, and all the mountain trembled exceedingly. And when the blast of the ram's horn sounded long and became very strong, Moshe spoke, and Yah answered him by voice. And Yah came down upon Mount Sinai on top of the mountain, and Yah called Moshe to the top of the mountain, and Moshe went up. And Yah said to Moshe, Go down, warn the people, lest they break through unto Yah to see, and many of them fall. And let the Kohanim who come near Yah kadosh themselves too, lest Yah break out against them. And Moshe said to Yah, The people are not able to come up to Mount Sinai, for you warned us, saying, Make a border around the mountain and kadosh it. And Yah said to him, Come, go down, and then come up, you and Aharon with you. But do not let the Kohanim and the people break through and come up to Yah, lest he break out against them. And Moshe went down to the people and spoke to them. Chapter 20. And Yah spoke all these words, saying, I am Yah, your I am who I am, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of slavery. You have no other mighty ones against my face. You do not make for yourselves a carved image or any likeness of that which is in the Shamaim above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, Yah, your I am who I am jealous, visiting the wickedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing kindness to thousands to those who love me and guard my commands. You do not bring the name of Yah, your I am who I am, to naught, for Yah does not leave the one unpunished who brings his name to naught. Remember the Shabbat day to kadosh it. 6 days you labor and shall do all your work, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of Yah, your I am who I am. You do not do any work, you nor your sons, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days Yah made the Shamaim and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore Yah barak the Shabbat day and kadosh it. Okay, for in 6 days Yah made the Shamaim and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore Yah barak the Shabbat day and kadosh it. Respect your father and your mother, so that your days are prolonged upon the land which Yah your Elohim is giving you. I have to look this word up. I'm sorry. I have to. Okay. Respect your mother and your father, that your days are prolonged upon the land which Yah, your Elohim, is giving you. You do not murder. You do not commit adultery. You do not steal. You do not bear false witness against your neighbor. You do not covet your neighbor's house. You do not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, or whatever belongs to your neighbor. And all the people saw the thunders and lightning flashes, the sound of the ram's horn, and the mountain smoking. And the people saw it, and they trembled and stood at a distance, and said to Moshe, You speak with us, and we hear, but let Yah speak with us, lest we die. And Moshe said to the people, Do not fear, for Yah has come to prove you, and in order that his reverence be before you, so that you do not sin. So the people stood at a distance, but Moshe drew near the dense cloud where Yah was, or where the Most High was. And the Most High said to Moshe, Say, Say this to the children of Yasharel. You yourselves have seen that I have spoken to you from the Shamaim. You do not make besides me mighty ones of silver, and you do not make mighty ones of gold for yourselves. Make an altar of earth for me, and you shall slaughter on it your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, your sheep and your cattle. In every place where I cause my name to be remembered, I shall come to you and barak you. And if you make me an altar of stone, do not build it of cut stone, for if you use your chisel on it, you have profaned it. Wow. Nor do you go up by steps to my altar, lest your nakedness be exposed on it. And chapter 21, and these are the right rulings which you are to put before them. When you buy an Ibri servant, he serves 6 years, and in the 7th he goes out free for naught. If he comes in by himself, he goes out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children are her master's, and he goes out by himself. Oh, wow. And if the servant truly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, let me not go out free, then his master shall bring him before the Most High, and shall bring him to the door and to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Oh, wow. And when a man sells his daughter to be a female servant, she does not go out as the male servants do. Okay. If she is displeasing in the eyes of her master who has engaged her to himself, then he shall let her be ransomed. He shall have no authority to sell her to a foreign people because of him deceiving her. And if he has engaged her to his son, he is to do to her as the rights of daughters. If he takes another, her food, her covering, and her marriage rights are not to be diminished. And if he does not do these 3 for her, then she shall go out for naught without silver. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall certainly be put to death. But if he did not lie in wait, but the Most High delivered him into his hand, then I shall appoint for you a place where he is to flee. But when a man acts presumptuously against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you are to take him even from my altar to die. And he who smites his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. And he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall certainly be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. And when men strive together, and one smites the other with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who smote him shall be innocent. He only pays for lost time and sees to it that he is completely healed. And when a man smites his male or female servant with a rod, so that he dies under his hand, he shall certainly be avenged. But if he remains alive a day or 2, he is not avenged, for he is his property. And when men strive, and they shall smite a pregnant woman, and her children come out, yet there is no injury, he shall certainly be punished accordingly as the woman's husband lays upon him, and he shall pay by the judges. But if there is injury, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, lash for lash. Wow. And when a man smites the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he is to let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, he is to let him go free for the sake of his tooth. And when an ox gores a man or a woman to death, that the ox shall then the ox shall certainly be stoned, and its flesh is not eaten, and the owner of the ox is innocent. However, if the ox was previously in a habit of goring, and its owner has been warned, and he has not kept it confined, so that it has killed a man or a woman, the ox is stoned, and its owner is put to death. If a sin covering is laid upon him, then he shall give the ransom of his life, whatever is laid on him, whether it is gored, whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter. According to this right ruling, it is done to him. If the ox gores a male or female servant, he is to give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox is stoned. And when a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit is to repay. He is to give silver to their owner, and the dead is his. And when the ox of a man smites the ox of his neighbor, and it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the silver from it, and also divide the dead ox. Or if it was known that the ox was previously in the habit of goring, and its owner has not kept it confined, he shall certainly repay ox for ox, while the dead is his. Chapter 22. When a man steals an ox or a sheep, and shall slaughter it or sell it, he repays 5 cattle for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. If the thief is found breaking in, and he is smitten so that he dies, there is no guilt for his bloodshed. If the sun has risen on him, there is guilt for his bloodshed. He shall certainly repay. If he has not the means, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the sun has risen on him, there is guilt for his bloodshed. Okay. If the thief is indeed found alive in his hand, whether it is an ox or donkey or sheep, he repays double. When a man lets a field or vineyard be consumed, and lets loose his livestock, and it feeds in another man's field, he repays from the beasts of his own field, and from the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. When fire breaks out and spreads to thorn bushes, so that stacked grain or standing grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall certainly repay. When a man gives silver or goods to his neighbor to guard, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he repays double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought before the Most High to see whether he has put his hand into his neighbor's goods. For every matter of transgression, for ox, for donkey, for sheep, for garment, or for whatever is lost, which another claims to be his, let the matter of them both come before the Most High. And whoever the Most High declares wrong repays double to his neighbor. When a man gives to his neighbor a donkey or ox or sheep or any beast to watch over, and it dies, or is injured, or is driven away while no one is looking, let an oath of the Most High be between them both, that he has not put his hand into his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept that, and he does not repay. But if it is indeed stolen from him, he repays to its owner. If it is torn, Okay, if it is torn to pieces, then let him bring it for evidence. He does not repay what was torn. And when a man borrows from his neighbor, and it is injured or dies while the owner of it is not present, he shall certainly repay. But if its owner was with it, he does not repay. If it was hired, he is entitled to the hire. And when a man entices a maiden who is not engaged and lies with her, he shall certainly pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father absolutely refuses to give her to him, he pays according to the bride price of maidens. Do not allow a practitioner of witchcraft to live. Anyone lying with a beast shall certainly be put to death. He who slaughters to a mighty one except to the Most High only is put under the ban. Do not tread down a sojourner or oppress him, for you were sojourners in the land of Mizraim. Do not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you do afflict them at all, if they cry out to me at all, I shall certainly hear their cry, and my wrath shall burn, and I shall slay you with the sword. Your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. If you do lend silver to any of my people, the poor among you, you are not to be like one that lends on interest to him. Do not lay interest on him. If you take your neighbor's garment as a pledge at all, you are to return it to him before the sun goes down, for that is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. What does he sleep in? And it shall be that when he cries to me, I shall hear, for I show favor. Do not revile the Most High, nor curse a ruler of your people. Do not withhold your produce and your juice. Give me the firstborn of your sons. Likewise, you are to do with your oxen and your sheep. It is to be with its mother 7 days. On the 8th day, you give it to me. And you are Kodash men to me, and you do not eat any meat which is torn to pieces in the field. You throw it to the dogs. Chapter 23. Do not bring a false report. Do not put your hand with the wicked to be a malicious witness. Do not follow a crowd to do evil, nor bear witness in a strife, so as to turn away after many to pervert. Okay. And he did not stretch out his hand against the chiefs of the children of Yasharel. And they saw the Most High, and they ate and drank. And the Most High said to Moshe, Come up to me, and on the mountain, come up to me on the mountain, and be there while I give you tablets of stone, and the Torah, and the command which I have written, to teach them. And Moshe arose with his assistant Yahoshua, and Moshe went up to the mountain of the Most High. And he said to the elders, Wait here for us until we come back to you. And see, Aharon and Hur are with you. Whoever has matters, let him go to them. And Moshe went up into the mountain, and a cloud covered the mountain. And the esteem of the Most High dwelt on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. And on the 7th day he called to Moshe out of the midst of the cloud. And the appearance of the esteem of the Most High was like a consuming fire on the top of the mountain before the eyes of the children of Yasharel. Wow. And Moshe went into the midst of the cloud and went up into the mountain. And it came to be that Moshe was on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Chapter 25. And the Most High spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yasharel, that they take up a contribution for me. From everyone whose heart moves him, you shall take up my contribution. And this is the contribution which you take up from them: gold and silver and bronze, and blue and purple, and scarlet and fine linen, and goat's hair and ram skin dyed red, and fine linen and acacia wood. Oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. Shaham, stones, and stones to be put in the shoulder garment and in the breastplate, and they shall make me a mikdash, and I shall dwell in their midst. According to all that I show you, the pattern of the Mishkan and the pattern of all its furnishings, make it exactly so. And they shall make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 amma long, an amma and a half wide, and an amma and a half high. And you shall overlay it with clean gold, inside and outside you shall overlay it. And you shall make on it a molding of gold all around. And you shall cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in its 4 corners, 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other side. And you shall make poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold, and shall put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark, to lift up the ark by them. The poles are in the rings of the ark, they are not taken from it. And into the ark you shall put the witness which I give you. And you shall make a lid of atonement of clean gold, 2.5 amma long, and an amma and a half wide. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold, make them of beaten work, at the 2 ends of the lid of atonement, and make 1 cherub at one end, and the other cherub at the other end. Make the cherubim from the lid of atonement at its 2 ends. And the cherubim shall be spreading out their wings above, covering the lid of atonement with their wings, with their faces toward each other, the faces of the cherubim toward the lid of atonement. And you shall put the lid of atonement on top of the ark, and put into the ark the witness which I give you. And I shall meet with you there, and from above the lid of atonement, from between the 2 cherubim which are on the ark of the witness, I shall speak to you all that which I command you concerning the children of Yasharel. And you shall make a table of acacia wood, 2 amma long, an amma wide, and an amma and a half high. And you shall overlay it with clean gold, and shall make a molding of gold all around, and shall make for it a rim of tophah all around, and shall make a gold molding for the rim all around. And you shall make it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on the 4 corners that are at its 4 legs. The rings are close to the rim, as holders for the poles to lift the table. And you shall make the poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold, and the table shall be lifted with them. And you shall make its dishes, and its ladles, and its jars, and its bowls for pouring, make them of clean gold. And you shall put the showbread on the table before me continually. And you shall make a lampstand of clean gold. The lampstand is made of beaten work. Its base and its shaft, its cups, its ornamental knobs and blossoms are from it. And 6 branches shall come out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side. 3 cups made like almond flour on one branch with ornamental knob and blossom, and 3 cups made like almond flour on the other branch with ornamental knob and blossom. So for the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand. And on the lampstand itself are 4 cups made like almond flowers with ornamental knob and blossom. Okay. And a knob under the first 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the second 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the third 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand. These knobs and their branches are of the same, all of it one beaten work of clean gold. And you shall make 7 lamps for it, and they shall mount its lamp, so that they give light in front of it, and its snuffers and their trays are of clean gold. It is made of karkar of clean gold with all these utensils. So see and do according to the pattern which was shown to you on the mountain. Chapter 26. And make the Mishkan with 10 curtains of fine woven linen and blue and purple and scarlet. Make them with cherubim, the work of a skilled workman. The length of each curtain is 28 amma, and the width of each curtain 4 amma. All the curtains having one measure. 5 curtains are joined to each other, and 5 curtains are joined to each other. And you shall make loops of blue on the edge of the end of one curtain, and do the same on the edge of the end of the second curtain. Make 50 loops in the one curtain, and make 50 loops on the edge of the seam of the second curtain, the loops being opposite to each other. And you shall make 50 hooks of gold, and shall join the curtains together with the hooks, and the Mishkan shall be one. And you shall make curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the Mishkan. Make 11 curtains. The length of each curtain is 30 amma, and the width of each curtain 4 amma, one measure to the 11 curtains. And you shall join the 5 curtains by themselves, and the 6 curtains by themselves. And you shall double over the 6 curtains at the front of the tent. And you shall make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost, and 50 loops on the edge of the second curtain. And you shall make 50 bronze hooks, and put the hooks into the loops, and join the tent together, and it shall be one. And the overlapping part of the rest of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over the back of the Mishkan. And an amma on one side, and an amma on the other side. And what remains of the length of the curtains of the tent is to hang over the sides of the Mishkan, on this side and on that side, to cover it. And you shall make a covering of ram's skin dyed red for the tent, and a covering of fine leather above that. And for the Mishkan you shall make the boards of acacia wood standing up. 10 amma is the length of the boards, and an amma and a half the width of each board. 2 tenons in each board for binding one to another. Do the same for all the boards of the Mishkan. And you shall make the 2 boards of the Mishkan, 20 boards for the south side, and make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under each of the boards for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the Mishkan, on the north side, 20 boards, and their 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And for the rear parts of the Mishkan, westward make 6 boards, and make 2 boards for the corners of the Mishkan and the rear, and they are double beneath, and similarly they are complete to the top to the one ring. So it is for both of them that they are for the 2 corners, and they shall be 8 boards in their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under the one board, and 2 sockets under the other board. And you shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the Mishkan, and 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the Mishkan, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the Mishkan for the rear parts westward. Okay. With the middle bar in the midst of the boards going through from end to end. And overlay the boards with gold, and make the rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. And you shall raise up the Mishkan according to its pattern which you were shown on the mountain. And ye shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine woven linen, the work of a skilled workman made with cherubim. And ye shall put it on the 4 columns of acacia wood overlaid with gold, their hooks of gold, open upon 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the hooks, and shall bring the ark of the witness there behind the veil. And the veil shall make a separation for you between the Kadosh and the most Kadosh place. And you shall put the lid of the atonement upon the ark of the witness in the most Kadosh place. And you shall put the table outside the veil, and the lampstand opposite the table on the side of the Mishkan toward the south, and put the table on the north side. And you shall make a covering for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine woven linen made by a weaver. And you shall make for the covering 5 columns of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold, their hooks of gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them. Chapter 27. And you shall make an altar of acacia wood, 5 amma long and 5 amma wide. The altar is square, and its height 3 amma. And you shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns are of the same. And you shall overlay it with bronze, and you shall make its pots to receive its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire holders. Make all its utensils of bronze, and you shall make a grating for it, a bronze network, and shall make on the network 4 bronze rings as it rings at its 4 corners, and shall put it under the rim of the altar beneath, so that the network is halfway up to the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and shall overlay them with bronze. And the poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar for lifting it. Make it hollow with boards, as it was shown to you on the mountain, so they are to make it. And you shall make the courtyard of the Mishkan for the south side screens for the courtyard made of fine woven linen, 100 amal long for one side, and its 20 columns, and their 20 sockets of bronze, the hooks of the columns, and their bands of silver, and so for the north side in length, screens 100 long, with its 20 columns and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the columns, and their bands of silver. And the width of the courtyard on the west side, screens of 50 amma, with their 10 columns and their 10 sockets. And the width of the courtyard on the east side, 50 amma, and the screens on one side of the gate, 50 amma, with their 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And on the other side, screens of 15 with their 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And for the gate of the courtyard, a covering, 20 amma long, of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine woven linen made by a weaver, 4 columns and 4 sockets. All the columns around the courtyard have bands of silver, their hooks silver, and their sockets bronze. The length of the courtyard is 100 amma, and the width 50 by 50, and the height 5 amma, woven of fine linen thread, and its sockets of bronze. All the utensils of the Mishkan for all its service, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the courtyard are bronze. And you are to command the children of Yasharel to bring you clear oil of pressed olives for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually. And in the tent of appointment outside the veil, which is before the witness, Aharon and his sons are to tend it from evening until morning before the Most High, Allah forever, to their generations, from the children of Yasharel. In the tent of appointment outside the veil, which is before the witness, Aharon and his sons are to tend it from evening until morning before the Most High, Allah forever, to their generations, from the children of Yasharel. Okay, I'm sorry. Chapter 28. And you bring near Aharon your brother and his sons with him from among the children of Yasharel for serving as Kohen to me, Aharon, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, and the sons of Aharon. And you shall make Kadesh garments for Aharon your brother, for esteem and for comeliness. And you speak to all the wise of heart, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, and they shall make the garments of Aharon to Kadosh him, for him to serve as Kohen to me. And these are the garments which they make: a breastplate, a shoulder garment, a robe, and an embroidered long skirt, a turban, and a girdle. And they shall make Kadosh garments for Aharon your brother and his sons, for him to serve as Kohen to me. And they shall take the gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen, and shall make the shoulder garment of gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine woven linen, the work of a skilled workman. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces joined at its 2 edges, and so it is joined together. And the embroidered band of the shoulder garment which is on it is of the same workmanship, made of gold, of blue and purple and scarlet and fine woven linen. And you shall take 2 shoham stones, and engrave on them the names of the sons of Yasharel, 6 of the names on one stone, and the remaining 6 names on the other stone, according to their birth, with the work of an engraver in the stones, like the engravings of the signet. Engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Yasharel. Put them in the mountings of gold, and you shall put the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the shoulder garment as stones of remembrance for the sons of Yasharal. And Aharon shall bear their names before the Most High on his two shoulders for a remembrance. Wow. Hmm. And you shall make mountings of gold and 2 chains of clean gold like braided cords, and fasten the braided chains to the mountings. And you shall make a breastplate of right ruling and work of a skilled workman like the work of the shoulder garment. Make it of gold and of blue and of purple and of scarlet and fine woven linen. It is square, doubled, and zereth its length, and its zereth its width. And you shall put mountings of stones in it, 4 rows of stones. The first row is a ruby, a topaz, and an emerald. The second row is a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row is a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. The fourth row is a beryl, a shoham, and a jasper. They are put in the gold mountings, and the stones are according to the names of the sons of Yasharal, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, each one with its own name for the 12 tribes. And you shall make braided chains of corded work for the breastplate of at the end of clean gold. And you shall make 2 rings of gold for the breastplate, and shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And you shall put the 2 cords of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 cords you fasten to the 2 mountings, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the shoulder garment in the front. And you shall make 2 rings of gold, and shall put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate on the edge of it, which is on the inner side of the shoulder garment. And you shall make 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 shoulder pieces under the shoulder garment on the front of it, close to the seam above the embroidered band of the shoulder garment. And they bind the breastplate by means of its rings to the rings of the shoulder garment, using a blue cord, so that it is above the embroidered band of the shoulder garment, so that the breastplate does not come loose from the shoulder garment. And Aharon shall bear the names of the sons of Yasharel on the breastplate of the right ruling over his heart, when he goes into the Kadash place for a remembrance before the Most High continually. And into the breastplate of the right rulings you shall put the Urim and Tumim, and they shall be on the heart of Aharon when he goes in before the Most High. And Aharon shall bear the right ruling of the children of Yasharel on his heart before the Most High continually. And you shall make the robe of the shoulder garment all of blue, and the opening for his head shall be in the middle of it, a woven binding all around its opening, like the opening of a skilled armor, so that it does not tear. And on its hem you shall make pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet all around its hem, and bells of gold between them all around. A golden bell and a pomegranate, and golden bell and a pomegranate on the hem of the robe all around. And it shall be upon Aharon to attend, and its sound shall be heard when he goes into the Kadash place before the Most High, and when he comes out, so that he does not die. Oh, so it makes, oh, okay. And you shall make a plate of clean gold, and engrave on it like the engravings of a signet, Kodashay, to the Most High. Um, and you shall put it on a blue cord, and it shall be on the turban. It is to be on the front of the turban. It shall be on the forehead of Aharon, and Aharon shall bear the guilt of the Kadash gifts which the children of Yasharel Kadash in all their Kadash gifts, and it shall always be on his forehead for acceptance and for them before the Most High. And you shall weave the long shirt of fine linen, and shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the girdle of woven work, and make long shirts for Aharon's sons, and you shall make girdles for them, and you shall make turbans for them, for esteem and comeliness, and you shall put them on Aharon your brother and on his sons with him, and shall anoint them, and shall ordain them, and shall kadosh them, and they shall serve as Kohanim to me, and make linen trousers for them to cover their nakedness, reaching from the waist to the thighs. And they shall be on Aharon and on his sons when they come into the tent of appointment, or when they come near the altar to attend in the Kodesh place, so that they do not bear witness wickedness and die. Allah forever to him and to his seed after him. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me in reading today. We made it to chapter 28, and Um, enjoy the rest of your Shabbat, and we will join you tomorrow with Shemath or Exodus starting chapter 29. Be blessed.